Hi everybody, I am here in the exotic land of Plainfield, and we're here to illustrate the issues we're having with Bradford pears. Well, Callery pears is the real name for them. Bradford is one of the cultivar names you've heard probably a bunch all through neighborhoods and from landscapers. There's another variety called Chanticleer. They're very popular. They've been used a bunch as street trees and landscaping trees because they're very hardy in our area. They grow everywhere, and they have little to no disease problems. They have a lot of ornamental characteristics that people like, so they've been planted by the millions. And here to show you today, we are kind of in next to a park area, and I am in a forest of Callery pears. What happened was the tree was introduced with the fruit to be a sterile fruit on the plant. And what happened was the pollen from the sterile trees mixed with other trees and eventually not sterile so much anymore. So the tree produces a small fruit that doesn't do a whole lot except get eaten by birds, and then the birds spread them around, and then we end up with these thickets. You hear about things becoming invasive somewhere, but we're right here in Chicagoland and they're invading everywhere. So this is one behind us. These are all pears pretty much. And you can see kind of some of the genetic diversity. You have this one's a little more open. There's some that are more upright. The uprightness is more the typical form that you see. They're kind of easy to identify from a distance that way. But also you can see this one is still blooming. Most of the rest here look like they just finished. Could be the snowfall we just got that maybe damaged them and brought them down sooner. They do have a white flower in spring. The smell is not pleasant. So like if your small child leaves a cheese sandwich in the back of your car for a week and you don't really notice it, and then all something smells funky. This is it. It's right here. Also, another thing we noticed on the form-wise, some types have a decent-sized thorn. They're thick. This one kind of got these little branch sports that end in a thorn. You can see it there. But also not fun. They're very hard to take out. They're very densely wooded, and also they're very thorny. So it's just a pain in the butt to try to get them out. So that's the problem we're having. So right now, about the same time, there's a couple other plants that bloom similarly. I suppose there's Serviceberry, which are actually really great plants to have. They stay a lot more in control. Their fruit's a lot more edible for both humans and wildlife, and they stay a little smaller. They don't really have that upright shape. They're more base-shaped usually. And then there is the American plum, which is another kind of a thicket-forming plant, but they usually stay in their little spot and gradually expand. They don't send out forests of themselves everywhere. Again, these guys are Pyrus is the scientific name, calleryana, Callery pear, the ornamental pear that you see on streets and in neighborhoods all over Chicago.